Pow! Pow pow pow! Pow pow pow! Today what I want to talk about is comic book film adaptations. Are they getting better? And who is the catalyst of this change? One name keeps on coming up, regardless of whether or not you like comic book movies. There is one name that is constantly echoed in the bowels of nerddom. Nolan. Nolan! Now, Christopher Nolan did the Batman series. I mean, he completely rewrote what it meant to do a comic book film. But does that make it good? A lot of people, in fact, hate the Nolan film, saying that it brought down comic book movies because every single writer and producer and director thereafter felt that they had to give a certain realistic context to characters that shouldn't even be taken in a realistic context at all. This actually led me to think, were they right? I mean, comic books at the core, while may be somewhat realistic, somewhat probable, basically rely on innate fantasies. I mean, things that we cannot do as people, but admire other characters for being able to do. I mean, that's the very basis of certain characters like Superman or even Batman. So the main problem isn't really the fact that Nolan's verse is too realistic, but people are saying that because of this, because he has really brought down Batman from that lofty status, he no longer is super. He's not even really a hero, just more so a man who was in a certain predicament and had to use his force of will to create consequences for criminals that he hated. But isn't that what Batman is anyway? And more importantly, isn't that what superheroes are supposed to be? Just everyday people like us put into extraordinary situations and showing whether or not they're alien, human, or monster or whatever, they can become something more, a hero. Now, while this may be the case, still Nolan's magic hand only really works with certain characters like Batman. The main problem is that many people are feeling that this realistic methodology is going to be infused in every single script that has a superhero on it. As if people are trying to really forcibly push down the gods of modern mythology to nothing more than specks of dirt. And they're actually kind of right. Case in point, Man of Steel. Now, while I actually rather enjoyed it, I have to concur with some of my fellow fans who thought that they were trying to push too much of the man part and not so much the super part. Now, while I feel that the film was somewhat balanced, I do understand where they're coming from with these complaints. After Dark Knight, a lot of directors had to go back and reshoot shots, a lot of writers had to go back and rewrite scenes, and a lot of movies got pushed back because they said that they could do something better. Now, they really didn't mean that they can do something better. What they meant was that they could do something darker, thus confusing darkness with realism with relatability. Okay, the world sucks. It's dark. Yes, I can relate, and that is being very real. But I don't want every single one of my comic book movies to relate this. A few is fine, but not every one. Not every comic book is dark. Not every comic book is dark. How that get in there? I don't read that. I'm a man. So it leads to the question, did Nolan and his trilogy steeped in realism destroy comic book films? I mean, are we forever to only say, boy, that movie was good because it was realistic? No, I don't think so. Plausibility is one thing. But I don't have to go to a comic book film and be, I don't know, traumatized? I mean, sure, I love Ledger as Joker, and I even like Hardy as Bane. But the Nolan films aren't really that fun. But I don't think they were supposed to be. And with Marvel Studios and Whedon, who can do no wrong, which is his full name, by the way, it seems as though comic book films aren't done yet being fun. but they can be fun and important. And I think that that's all we really need to focus on. I'm the Justin. Keep thinking.